Kuzma going to the Milwaukee Bucks. So it looks like, first of all, Washington is offloading on some of the assets that they have, right? They're 6-41. So call it a year, call it I'm going for a Cooper flag or something, and now they're
Mhm.
just rounding up the assets that they can for who they already have that's worth something, right? So Kuzma
Yeah.
is going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, that doesn't really do much for the Washington Wizards right now. We'll talk about that after. But what does that do for the Bucks immediately? They got rid of Khris Middleton. So Khris Middleton is in Washington now,
Jeez. I
right?
never thought I'd see the day.
Right? Khris was playing quite decent over the past couple weeks. So maybe that was just to push up the value a little bit. I don't know. But what does Kyle Kuzma over Khris Middleton do for the Bucks? He did
The
win a ring
same
back
thing.
in 2020, right? So
He did. He did as like essentially the third best player.
yeah,
I don't. I don't know for what the Bucks are expecting or the expectations. I don't think this moves the needles that much. Kyle Kuzma's been on a like I know stats are probably not as great as they could be because he was on a bad team. So him and Jordan Poole were like the focal points of the offense, which
yeah.
kind of maybe allowed him not to be as efficient. But I don't think this does anything crazy. I don't think this improves the Bucks like that. I don't think it makes them better than Celtics, Knicks, and Cavaliers, who the Bucks are chasing right now to try to
Hmm.
be the best team in the East. But what it does do for you in the books, like financially for the books, it put the Milwaukee Bucks out of that second apron, so it gives them more flexibility to do more trades and stuff like that, or be able to move. Because when you're over the second apron, I think you can only do certain type of trades, and I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
fully too versed on it, but I know once you're out of it, there's more flexibility.
yeah,
Kyle Kuzma's game would probably be really. It probably it's something the Bucks would want if he was a 3 point shooter. He's
yeah,
not the best 3 point shooter. You're hoping that his 3 point percentage does go up though when he is on open threes. So you're
yeah.
hoping now with the gravity of Damian Lillard and Giannis, you're hoping that he can get a lot of open threes.
Facts.
He does move faster than Khris Middleton. He's a little bit quicker on offense, so that can help as well. But bro, I'm shocked because guess what? We have not seen a playoff series with Khris Middleton, Damian Lillard, and Giannis. Like they didn't even give it one game. I understand people were
Yeah.
injured last year, but that trio didn't get a chance. They didn't get a fair chance in the playoffs. But as
Hmm.
the Bucks, I understand, we can't beat the Knicks, we can't beat the Celtics, we can't beat the Cavs. So
Yeah.
something had to be done, and I guess this is it. I guess this is it, bro.
Yeah, it's a start because as you pointed
Yeah,
out, it's a financial move as well. So you
facts,
more or less get quite a similar player. Like they're both kind of inconsistent, right?
facts,
Kuzma
facts.
is a little bit younger, a little bit more lively. Like we've seen him play winning basketball. We've seen him play losing basketball. We've seen
Mhm.
Khris Middleton, play good and bad on winning basketball, essentially, right? So do you really lose much? Not really. You lose a little bit of not much, like because it's not even like he was
Mm,
consistent at the moment. And Kyle Kuzma can be consistent or inconsistent. So
facts.
um, it's not a bad move. And if you're getting dollars back in your pocket, and you can invest in other players with that, then it's not a bad move, right? I understand from the Washington Wizards standpoint, but does that make Milwaukee Bucks the deepest threat in the East? No, right? Um, it helps them a little bit. We'll see if they can get, from that dynamic of those three players. Hopefully, he can be a little bit more consistent with the three. That's kind of what he was doing in the bubble when they won that ring, right? He was hitting corner threes. He was hitting his shots. So if he could, I don't know, if there's something psychologically going from a 6-41 team to a winning basketball, potentially championship, team that was there a few years removed. Um, Maybe that wakes something up in him. But realistically, on paper, they're not a better team than the Knicks. They're not better than the Boston Celtics. They're not better than any of the teams at the top. So the Cleveland Cavaliers included. So especially with the moves that they made. So